So Ayush, in last video we talked about how Godspeed is helping with the configure of code guardrail. Can you please explain me about the third guardrail in Godspeed, which is security?
So, Mohit, security is very essential for all applications, right? Especially in those domains where we talk about fintech, health tech, insurance, and government based applications as well, right? So, security is essential. We don't, even for other applications, we don't want to lose our customers or organizations sensitive information. So in Godspeed, we bring guardrails for 4 kinds of security mechanisms in place. The first one is your secrets, okay, like your passwords. So all of your secrets must always be as environment variables, and hence one of the guidelines given to developer, and there's a way to do this, is given as an environment variables file. You configure all your environment variables in one place. Okay. We also recommend to teams to have this as part of the CI scan as well, that there must be no secrets in your code. The CI should detect it. Okay. So, but within the microservice framework, there's a standard way to define all your secrets. Number 2 is encryption. Okay. So, encryption of data at rest, encryption of data at transit or moving data. So the moving data encryption is taken care by the network protocol like HTTPS. That part is taken care at network layer. Now talking about data at rest, which is your databases and logs. We'll talk of both now. So first let's talk of databases. That's where we need encryption. So for example, you want to encrypt somebody's phone number and also want to be able to search the user based on phone number. How does a developer do that typically? He will write code, he will take an form, get an API input, convert the phone number to a hash, store the hash, right? Then again, when you want to search from a phone number, he will take the plain text from the search query, convert that to hash and search the database by hash, right? This means he has to write so much boilerplate in doing this. Now imagine there are 30 such fields that he has to handle. How much chaos and boilerplate can enter your code now? So in Godspeed, what we do is simply mark @encrypted in front of your database column model definition in the Prisma syntax. And the DB basically will get a stored storage of that field, whether in all popular databases, Postgres, MongoDB, MySQL, CockroachDB, MariaDB, or even in Elasticsearch. So now let's talk of the third security measure, is again related to data at rest, which is log redaction. So now, apart from data stored in a database, the data is also stored in your logs, correct? So basically, when we store data in the logs, how do you prevent that even by mistake, our tech team should not be leaking any sensitive information in a release? Okay, so therein within the microservice framework, we allow you to configure the keys, okay, and any regexes you need to prevent these sensitive information from leaking into your logs. Godspeed will remove it from your logs. It's called log redaction. Okay. The last pillar, the fourth pillar of the security check within Godspeed is authorization. So authorization at event level, all right, whether simple JWT authorization or it is about RBAC or ABAC based authorization. So easily configuring your authorization within the event schema itself in a configure over code approach, which we discussed. Okay. Second, within your workflows as well, you are able to authorize the tasks that are executed. For example, even when accessing your database, am I or this user allowed to access this particular row of the database and the columns that he's asking or not? Okay. This level of fine-grained authorization is also allowed in Godspeed via simple abstractions, which are again configure over code abstractions. So 4 main pillars of security within Godspeed. The first pillar is your secrets, second is encryption, third is log redaction, fourth is authorization. These are the guardrails of security we give in Godspeed.
So what happens if I did not use these guardrail security into our project or a company? So what happened in that case?
See, if you do not use a framework which provides these guardrails out of the box, then your tech team will be manually coding all of this. All right. So now when doing things manually, you have number one, increase their effort. Okay. Number two, you have a higher expectation from your tech team, including even the young engineers. You have to train all of them, tell all of them about doing this. Then the third thing is that with the increased effort comes increased chances of mistakes. All right. And even by mistake, if you lose your sensitive information, you may be in trouble. Imagine that you have leaked some sensitive information in your logs, and think about the compliances like GDPR in Europe. What may happen then? So do you want to leave this to chance, right? Do you want to leave this to chance with people changing in your team? You do not. You want a hard and a strong security in place, and you want those measures driven into your framework to ensure that your team is following these guardrails for security.
Thank you, Ayush, for clearing my doubts about the guardrails and security.
Thanks, Mohit. So in the next video, we'll talk about the fourth guardrail of Godspeed, which is the decoupled architecture.
Thank you, Ayush.